Hey, everybody. Hello, hello. This is Terry Luongo, and welcome to Team Up Monday Night Live Zooming. It's so good to see so many of you. And I'm excited about tonight because tonight we're going back to why did we say yes in the first place? What attracted us to Juice Plus in the first place? Why did it make sense to us in the first place? And we never, ever, ever want to lose that very, very, very important concept that, we're in this because we made the decision that this was something that we knew was important for us and for everybody that we knew. So tonight it's going to be something that we're going to talk about a lot and at least once a month moving forward. But it's about stories, personal stories, and the benefits of Juice Plus as a reminder to us why we got involved in this. So before we do that, though, I thought you have to kind of set the pace, set the scene. Why is Juice Plus important? Why do we all need Juice Plus in our lives and in our bodies? And so I'm going to take you back in time and, just visit with a couple statistics that, this information came to us about 20, 25 years ago, and it's not changed. It's not gotten any better. Why do we need Juice Plus? Well, because chronic disease in this country is at epidemic highs, okay? Chronic disease is out of control in the United States. The latest statistics tell us, and this has not changed in 30 years, 1 out of every 2 men will have cancer in his lifetime. 1 out of every 3 women will have cancer in her lifetime. Over 1 million people in the United States alone will have heart attacks this year, and the age keeps getting younger and younger and younger. That's a heart attack every 40 seconds. Diabetes, 39 million Americans. 39 million Americans are diabetics. And again, our children are diabetics. Autoimmune conditions, there's a new one every week. It's an absolute epidemic in this country. All right. And if you went back to the 1950s, 6 to 7% of Americans had chronic disease in the 50s. In the 90s, it was up to 55 to 60% of Americans have chronic disease. And they have not updated the statistics since the 90s. What is it really today? So what's the culprit? Well, the culprit is inflammation. And I did a whole program on that called Aging Backwards. And if you did not see it, it's recorded and I'll send it to you. So we're told today, Dr. Bruce Amos said that every cell in our body and our DNA gets something like 10,000 oxidated hits every single day that causes inflammation. And there's so many reasons why: the environment, the foods that we eat, the foods that we don't eat. But we have to focus on putting out the inflammation, because you see, we're all inflamed. And the number one thing, and that's why Juice Plus is so important, that puts out the fire, that reduces the systemic inflammation, are plants. Michael Pollan, in his unbelievably fabulous book, it was called In Defense of Food, he said, after looking at thousands of food programs and diets and health in this country, he said, to reduce inflammation, to get Americans healthy again, he said, eat food, not food with preservatives or chemicals. Eat real food, not too much, mostly plants. Boom, there you have it. And that's why there's such a need for Juice Plus. So I thought I would start with my story, guys. Those of you that are on the call tonight, many of you know me. You know my story through Crohn's disease and fibromyalgia, and not overnight, but how Juice Plus totally turned my health around. But I thought tonight I got permission to share my son Brooks's story. Okay, as many of you know, several years ago, Brooks was neurologically poisoned, and it threw him into Parkinson's. And last fall, it reached the point where he had no quality of life whatsoever. And he underwent some brain surgery. It was not effective. And in December of last year, the neurologist and the neurosurgeon were going back and forth and reevaluating Brooks. And what did they find? They found throat cancer. So it was a real time to have a real heart-to-heart with my son, because just because Brooks grew up in my home, he's a grown man, and his thoughts on Juice Plus were, well, maybe I'll take an omega on Sunday night, and Wednesday maybe I'll take a fruit, even with the Parkinson's, okay? But when the C word hit, I sat him down and I said, Brooks, this is serious. You're in bad shape. And I said, would you consider a therapeutic dose of Juice Plus? And he goes, yeah, what's that? I don't know where I came up with this, guys. You guys know when you have an inspired message, some of you know what that is, right? In spirit. And I said 5 fruits, 5 vegetables, 5 berries, and 5 omegas every day. And he goes, yeah, I'll do that. All right, he started that protocol at the end of January. His cancer treatment started the middle of March. And for 7 weeks, okay, it was radiation every single day, 5 days a week. And on Friday was the double cocktail, radiation and chemo. Now, when he started his treatments in the middle of March, one of the oncologists, and he was working with 2 oncologists or talking to 2 neurologists, it's a lot going on there with him. The oncologist said, Brooks, for someone who's been suffering with Parkinson's for so many years, your blood work looks really good. And he goes, okay, thanks. All right, 5 weeks into treatment, 5 weeks of radiation, his oncologist says to him, Brooks, what are you doing? And he goes, what do you mean, what am I doing? He goes, I show up, you tell me to come for radiation and chemo, I do that. She goes, no, what are you doing? He goes, I don't know what you're talking about. And she said, Brooks, I've been doing this for 25 years. And in 25 years, I have never seen anybody's blood work improve every single week during treatment. At this point, Brooks, we should be telling you, stay home, don't catch a cold. For the love of God, please don't get COVID. And she said, your blood work every single week gets better. What are you doing? And he said, I do something called Juice Plus. That, my friends, is the power of the powder that's in those capsules. Let us never forget that. All right, so also sharing with us tonight is a lovely lady that I've got to spend time with because of Abby. She's on Abby's team, Brittany Strong. Brittany, would you, there you go, she has already unmuted herself. Brittany, how did Juice Plus find you and what's happened to you in your home?
Yeah. So thanks for letting me share, because I will share the story to anyone that will listen. What a gift we have here. My roller coaster of a journey with health and wellness started 10 plus years ago, but for the sake of time, I always like to kind of highlight about the beginning of the new year. So January, I had kind of taken many steps back with my health. Anything that could be wrong was wrong from every system in my body. So some examples I always talk about are I was having chronic styes in my eyes out of nowhere, very bloody gums that the dentist did not understand where that was coming from, all sorts of GI issues, kind of all over the spectrum of either not being able to go or going all the time, never knowing what food was going to agree with me or not. And it felt like most were not. Debilitating fatigue, trying to keep up with toddlers and feeling like I could not. And then what came first or second, I don't know, but a lot of just mental health struggles through all of that. And so I was desperately looking for help, answers. I also was a fitness instructor, and I was going to these classes and trying to help other people in their wellness journey and coming home and just absolutely crumbling in mine. And so through my gig there actually is how I met Abby. And it was very much a God thing in terms of the timing of all of that. I quickly saw what she shared about and did. And so I felt like I had nothing to lose, didn't even really ask very many questions, but knew that there's power behind nutrition, and that as a busy mom, I could sit there and say that I was eating healthy and making conscious, healthy decisions. But was I really eating the plants that I needed to in a day? Absolutely not. And so to find such a simple way to do it also, I just ran with it. then I learned about the Healthy Starts program, and that if I needed something to seal the deal, that is what did. My oldest is autistic, and we started him on the product when I started myself on the product. And the changes that we have experienced with him are kind of just without words. And not just us seeing it in our home, but our therapies as well. So when we started him on this product, he was really only speaking in echolalia, where he would kind of repeat what you said or take favorite pieces of his favorite shows or music, where now you can sit with him and have a true kind of what you would think of typical conversation. His speech therapist said, I don't know what is going on, but when he comes in here, I can talk to him about his day. I can get answers out of him. Also have seen a huge shift in his diet. So we kind of lived off of our safe foods. And now he has such a variety of food. I can put a plate of fruit and vegetables in front of him and he will go to town on them. And then the behavioral stuff too has just been night and day difference. So once I started experiencing all of this, I came for myself because let's just be honest, when the mom is not her best, the whole family suffers. But having a diagnosis on my son and being able to offer him this gift as well and see what it has done, like I said, it's a gift that you have to keep on sharing, and I do. So,
Wow. I mean, it just takes my breath away. And what this does for the health of children. We truly are a company whose focus is to improve the health of future generations. So I'm so happy for you and your family. I was going to go straight to Amy, but I think I'm going to wait. Brittany?
mhm.
Okay, so I know what the product means to you and your family. Um, Talk to me about, what does this business mean to you and your family? Because I know this is not your first rodeo with network marketing.
It
Talk,
is not. It's
go
not.
ahead.
And I really, when I discovered Juice Plus, kind of had said I would not ever again. But you cannot, again, talking about a gift, the business is that as well. You cannot deny the power in being able to help others, but also financially help your family. It is very important to me to be with my family day in and day out, be able to make whatever decisions, especially in regards to Declan, my son's school and therapies, the decisions that we make there. I want to be present for all of that. I'm also a military spouse, so I knew that I needed something that allowed a constant no matter what circumstances we might be facing at any given time. And so to be able to build a business, empower other moms to do the same, and help improve people's health all the while, I mean, that's something you have to share about. It's been a game changer for us. So
Would you share? You shared something with me on a call the other day. I think it was just the two of us. What did your husband say to you about Juice Plus?
yeah, he said, I think you finally found the place where you belong, and they are what they say that they are.
Wow.
It's home for,
Okay, that's pretty powerful.
yeah.
Thank you, Brittany, for sharing from your heart. That's a beautiful story, and we're so glad you're with us. All right. Having said that, I thought that I would invite to the call tonight. I kind of consider Amy Hopkins our personal functional medicine professional guru right here within the Team Up organization. Amy, I know that you share Juice Plus with tons of patients. And explain to me, first of all, like, some of the wonderful things you've seen in your practice or with your home, but why would Brooks experience what he experienced? And why would Brittany's son experience what he's experienced based on what you know about Juice Plus?
I'm excited to share that. There's a lot of us here that know this answer, but I'm going to give it to you hopefully in a functional wellness type of way. It's an incredible thing when we consume these capsules, and I've seen I have people coming off their medicine. We have Brooks with his labs. I have people with my labs. I have people energy. They're pooping. Their symptoms are going away. Their allergies are gone. We've all experienced some degree of decreased inflammatory response. This is exactly what Terry was talking about earlier. We get triggered, y'all. We have like 30 trillion cells in our body at any one time. And imagine each of those getting hit at 10,000 times a day. Like, it's an incredible impact. Inflammation is not necessarily a bad thing, right? That's how your body speaks to itself. It mounts an inflammatory response. It's a Batman signal. It says, hey, get over here and fix me. I'm broke. And so your body mounts a response. Your body's ability to mitigate that response is directly impacted by what you put down your mouth. And that is where true health comes from, right there. And so whenever you are feeding your gut microbiome, it does an incredible thing. It actually creates compounds that were not there before. We have proof that's in our research. And those are the things that help mitigate your inflammatory responses. Exercise is an inflammatory response. It is not a bad thing to exercise, right? But we need recovery from it because it creates oxidative stress, right? So I want to talk specifically when I say people are coming off their blood pressure medicine, this is what I mean. Your arteries are made up of muscles, and their ability to be flexible and pliable is directly related to something called nitrous oxide. It's not about your age. Just because your age, your number, whatever your number is, that doesn't make your arteries harden. That has no impact on your arteries. What is impacted by your arteries is your body's ability to make nitrous oxide so that your blood vessels can expand and contract based on body needs. And when you take Juice Plus, we actually have research that shows it's able to build that compound. Your body needs to be able to grab nutrients that it needs to make so that it can build and mitigate this impact of inflammation. All disease is inflammation, all of it. We know this. And Crohn's disease, I have a patient who's been on it for a year, and his Crohn's disease is almost gone. His gout, his face and his gout on his elbows and everywhere, it was incredible. And he has come off of all of this. And it's just so wild. I want to tell you one last thing, and then I'll throw it back to Terry. I have a third born who was born 5 weeks premature, and she contracted RSV as a 3-month-old infant. And the data shows that if you as a baby contract RSV less than 1 year old, your likelihood of developing asthma by early childhood is about 90%. And of course, my daughter, when she was 4, she started showing asthma symptoms. And so in 2017, we started Juice Plus. Her asthma symptoms were flaring nicely. A cold is her trigger, and so nebulizers, inhalers, all the things. Fast forward 1 year down the road, I'm standing right here at the sink and I'm doing the dishes, and I got panicked because it's the end of September and I'm trying to figure out why we haven't seen the doctor yet to get her nebulizers and steroids and all these things. So I go over to the medicine cabinet and I'm bringing down all the medicine, and it was all expired from last year. And I couldn't figure out why I had expired medicine in the cabinet. I couldn't remember when the last time was that I gave her an inhaler treatment or a nebulizer treatment or steroids. And so fast forward 1 week later, I got the call that every mother wants, and I swore I would never get that call. Hi, Mrs. Hopkins, this is so-and-so from the doctor's office, from Dr. Couch's office. We haven't seen y'all in over a year. It's time to schedule your well child checks. And y'all, when I say we were sick, we passed strep around like it was Skittles. So I asked this lady, I said, when's the last time we saw you, and all the details. And she had told me in August and September of 2017, in 8 weeks, we had seen them 13 times. We had gone from 13 times in 8 weeks to no doctor's appointments in a year. And you want to talk about impacting these fruits and vegetables, these capsules. This is the why. This is the impact that we're talking about. This is why it started. This is where it started. I'm on fire ever since, right? Like that is the impact. That is what we need. The daily, consistent, compounded intaking of this stuff. It's so good. Okay, Terry.
Aren't we glad that she is our team up functional medicine guru and that we have her in our back pocket? All right, I'm going to ask you the same thing that I asked Brittany. You're a medical professional. All right. And no, you could just tell people to get on Juice Plus. But why this business, and what does that mean to you in your personal life?
Yeah, this business is definitely able to fulfill a need. from the very beginning. Even just a couple of $100 a month was hugely impactful in our budget. And what it has really meant is being part of a community of and not being alone in this world, and seeing I mean, like it's the emotional impact of the business, if you can say that. Like you know, that being in a community where you can form and create relationships and friends and these lifelong bonds with each other, that's really what this business has brought to me. And the financial component is absolutely vital there. And that extra money, it pays my car payment right now. And we have a nice car because of it, you know. And, but I will say that this community, this is the part of the business that I crave and I need, and I will always keep in my life.
Wow. All right, guys. I wanted to keep this short tonight because I wanted to make this available to you if you choose to share it with people on your team or people that might need to hear some of these stories. So Abby, if you want to stop the recording, we will stop and then we will